stand clear. I'm trying to figure out what's going on with YouTube.
Oh, there it is. Issues do it.
Virtual camera going, it's recording. Over there when I came around, the box came in. I'm not seeing up here. They were starting to fill in the parking lot over there.
Next week. I apologize, everyone. We're trying to get it going.
But Jim asked first.
Can't understand why.
I'm popular.
Doesn't make any sense at all.
I know.
Who would be less critical at one way? You're there.
Right there. That would be really good entertainment.
So I'm in this is like
True.
No, we need Jim's bringing another person from his team.
I might see six. I just told Sarah, I said,
Yeah, I like that. I like that. Yeah, because there's some other things that kind of different. Yeah, this is more in the Robert's rules.
yeah, yes.
There's a couple other things too that I don't want to change.
Yeah.
Align with Robert's rules, even
I
though
haven't been doing it.
we don't have to say it's a best practice.
Is it the city's course? Or the private course?
I would say that district private. I want to call the August 21st, 2025 meeting of the Crystal.
Yes.
Are you ready?
Yes.
Would you please proceed with here?
Dina Rule, Hewitt,
Here.
Mike Davis,
Here.
Sean Cobby,
Here.
And Mayor Phillips. Thursday, July. Make a motion to accept the minutes of the second motion to accept as presented. There. Thank you. In favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Master Park Plan update. Mrs. Hall.
Good evening. It's a pleasure to be with you. A master plan happens about every, well, it's a 5 every. The last one that was done in the parks was 2015. Now, between 2015 for People campaign that kind of filled that void, I think. So it's time again to survey to our community. We fell a little bit short to get back in response. We got about 500 back from our community, so we were glad. We did see some trends in the feedback that we saw from our we created some focus groups with some community stations like RBI or the Softball League or Prairie Arts Council, Little Cousin Jasper. So we utilize the parks frequently for events and other things. So at this stage, it has closed that group. So going forward, if you have questions about this plan, you could ask Jeff because he could hopefully answer those questions. He's part of this process. Get that submitted to the Indian. Goals of a plan like this is to set you up for applying for grants and hopefully get some grant funding to support some of the projects and improvements that we'd like to make. So we're hoping that things in 2025, those people, you know, we know that grants have had some issues very recently. So a small issue that we might be applying in 2026 will we apply as well. So that is a little bit of a problem competition, but we'll just play out for us. So moving forward, we anticipate having another public meeting in January, and then we had hoped to adopt our plan by about February of 2020. We went with the best schedule. We felt a little bit behind in the process, and so we kind of wanted to push things along. So I can entertain questions that you might have about the process. This is my first time through, so I'm not an expert, but okay. All right. Well, I'll be glad to share the results of our process in the near future, and thank you for your time this evening. It's been a pleasure.
Joseph's Plat. Mayor Phillips.
Yeah, we just wanted to kind of update the Plan Commission where we're at on this project itself. The IDM permits are already completed and should be marked off our checklist as complete. They were submitted by Commonwealth Engineering on behalf of St. Joseph's College. So that part we're moving forward. They also submitted the SWP3 to IDM to be approved. We have not heard back from IDM yet on that one specifically. So we'll leave that one alone until we come back to that. There was some Evan Marsh approval on city design. This is the plan committee. How you'd like to handle it. We did have initial plans by Turning Point Solutions that drafted. Finally, Commonwealth Engineering also submitted the survey, design, and engineering plan for this project itself. And I'll let you guys act on how you want to do that. I'm not sure if it's a waiverable thing. Up to Attorney Simmons or yourself. The Drainage Board approval has been approved at the meeting of August 5th, 2000. The detailed spec mapping though for it, so we'll still continue to have the street lights there. But
yep. That's just what it was. So they waived the requirement for the sidewalk and the curb, but it still needs to be on the plan. So I think that would be what other streets, not for all of them. Yeah, for for Doherty and Sparley.
I don't remember what, I know you were waiving, you said you would waive it for the time being unless we connected with the sidewalk from
From the
like
north.
the health department,
Yeah.
from the north.
Now we're just talking phase one. So.
Right. So I didn't know if you wanted to waive it for the plat, final plat on plat number 1, the 5 houses there. That was the question. And I think the last is set of completed plans. We would get that approved, and then certification by you guys, and then I'm trying to think what else we had on there. Kevin, if you could expand on that, I would appreciate it.
For me, in my mind, were the IDM permits, which have already been applied for. Once those are back, then if they're approved, then that checks that off of there. We need a final plat drawing of only phase showing the five houses along Doherty in order to approve the first phase. No.
That seems, talking with Attorney Sanders, that seems like something to get completed yet. The final plat drawing for phase 1,
Yeah.
showing the separate lots. Is that correct, Todd?
Yeah, that final plat has to be completed and approved, or it's got to be recorded over at the courthouse and go through a process there before those lots become lots.
Right.
And I did have a question because I'm confused about something, and I don't recall from the prior meeting, at least that I was involved in with this board or this commission when this was talked about, but Planning Commission approval is on this list. Was it required? Was it a requirement of the commission when primary was approved that?
I don't think it has. What we did was we waived that requirement to issue that the first.
It was okay.
Now, I haven't looked back since then.
I looked back at the minutes. I was thinking that for some reason that phase 1 was given preliminary approval because all these things are approval for. Maybe I was
100% on that, but okay. That's just my recollection of it. But I would think with having a phase 1 drawing required, I would think that's pretty easy to do because you've got the whole thing drawn. You're just taking those 5 lots. So when we just that part.
Well, the primary doesn't have to be recorded.
Just
Phase 1.
Okay,
That's what
right.
Yeah.
That's what I guess that's what I'm getting at.
Okay.
So they know what's being recorded. They're not going to record all 3 phases. It's just a single phase.
Right. Now I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yes.
But it's already done. I mean, the drawing's already done. It just needs to be.
And I guess that's why I was thinking it was given approval, but I honestly haven't gone back in the minutes to see what
I'll
happened.
look back and see.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll look back and see. I think they're really close with the requirements.
That drawing was done by Titan Engineering for that first 5 lots, and I'm pretty sure Crystal's got it over there. Her and I got it. I got copies of everything the other day. It's over there now with the request to have.
In the beginning, I've got.
I don't remember when they had that's the thing is we've seen. What I do. They didn't draw that single phase. I think what they did was they edited
off the engineering Josh had requested to have done. And it's in.
Well, I haven't seen that. If that's been done, I haven't seen it.
It's in.
Okay, we'll review it.
Yeah, we'll look for it. I mean, if it's been done, I'm not saying necessarily that it hasn't been done. I just haven't seen it. So, So again, I think we're pretty close, but in my mind, the Plan Commission can't or shouldn't approve. But I think we're close.
Yeah, and I apologize because I was looking at it more from an eye toward approving the final plat, assuming that everything other than what was on this list we've been addressing had already been done in the primary plat, and that was probably just on my part.
Right.
But yeah, the utility board accepting the utilities, and as the mayor indicated, that's on the meeting for Monday night.
Yeah, and I think in a way, because of the situation that we're in, where we're at, so.
The only question I had was, do we need to waive the Evan Marsh approval on the city design since that's already been done by Commonwealth? And we need to waive? Do we need to take action on tonight?
I think the street lights are, that's done. I think that part of it's done. Is stormwater drainage notes. It wasn't to confirm that it's drawn per the city's design standards. I haven't seen that yet. So, and we may have it. I don't know. Again, that's one thing that we need.
We've looked at everything that we have on file.
Yeah, and I think to protect the city, I think that has to be done. And to protect St. Joe, too, from doing something incorrectly.
But my understanding that was there. So that was all I was asking. If you have we already then waived the detailed specs for the street lights, signage, and sidewalk?
I think we did that.
Right.
I think we did that.
So there's a question, was the Evan Marsh approval on the meeting city design standards? There's two or three different drawings of that fit a reason to waiver. I ran this by Attorney Salmons, and he thought that this is something that you could waiver if you want to.
Or the Commonwealth could certify.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah.
We could have Commonwealth certify on that. I figured that's what he was recommending.
Okay. Yeah. I don't. Does anyone have any problems with Evan Marsh's? No, it's not. It's not been done. Correct. The certification to the city.
But I probably. The final plat is, my understanding on these has always been that you get the primary plat approved, then there are certain conditions or waived, whatever, and those have to those requirements that haven't been done at the time of the primary approval have to be done before final approval, and unless it's been required that the final commissioner's recommendation that this checklist has been completed.
So it's all in the checklist.
Essentially,
Yeah. And then it doesn't have to come back here, or it's
right, and unless you say it has to come back
right.
here,
Right.
for final.
Okay. Yeah. Makes sense to me.
All right.
Get it done a little quicker that way.
Yeah, we'll get with Commonwealth to certify on the minor part, and then create us hopefully a phase one final plat on.
Yes, and present Monday night.
Right.
Yeah.
We're ready to get that one done Monday, and we should be ready to go with it.
Okay. So I don't think we need to take any action tonight on that.
Nope.
Mr. Black, does that all make sense? Okay.
The master plan to start with, per se,
Right.
and everything that Josh had asked for was all placed on them, and Crystal got it.
If it's done, great, and we'll.
I want to see if what the committee here tonight, if not, have the direction I've got
person's on vacation or something that didn't get that back to us in time, but I'm sure each day or have heard this before, so.
Next item on the agenda is APC housing plan. Ben,
Here are development that really for us. They came a couple hours early to work on AVs.
Did you go to the office with you?
You have the hard copy.
yeah.
That's all right.
Okay. Housing action plan. Give you the big picture. In original discussions, we came up with the housing action plan, which looks at the market, looks at, and also looking at the city. So, my presentation is newer. Lower than it's kind of overall trend tends a little bit lower. And when you first clear, it's been built since the year 2000. Just a some of the things that were lost a little bit of patience since 2013 to 2023, but what has changed, you lost the middle cohort. That's where that us is that for young population, those your kids, and then also the 20 population. That, of course, that's another. You'll see this is option housing needs option for changing households. On this is that you look. So those that do, got lots of kids. we can get behind. I'm in touch with I can. That graphic is really not as far as different styles of home. If you look at the one person, another 26%, another quarter is a two-person household. What this tells me when I look at chunks are where, if it's a two-person household, you have two people probably, right? A married. How many homes? Almost half of them three-bedroom homes, and then 60%. So you're looking at, 60% of the homes have match. An older housing stock, kind of your traditional home. Page 18 is just a little snapshot and ways that look at accessory dwelling units. You have kind of, it's under the term guest house, which implies a different type of residency than someone that's or we see on page 19, your future. That's your that one of the big ones is that only families that are shown as residential, but there's not much detail to it. If I flip there, if you look at the zoning map, R1, R2, and R23, often residential districts. Are it doesn't get to the family, which is anything 3 units. Well, there's all the difference in the world. Accessory dwelling units are really intended to be standard are in place that those don't get. They could be built for a market there, so let's go ahead and capture those. Here one, all the parcels within the city and those to the west. Things we looked at of factors as slope, the available water and sewer plain, elements like that. Sort of the first block would do that would nullify the ability. So from that, we've sort of set up a point score. And you can see the colors here. The darker the green, the more check to or it being right. Back look at areas that each of them. And so we look at opportunities that exist there, vacant lots, right for development. The colors also on this map also correspond to housing would be appropriate in those locations. So you'll see if it's more yellow, more single family, duplex. You see if you maybe sometimes we identify where you want to have single family as a buffer up against the existing single family, but there's other than single family home. And if you look at those focus areas, you'll see areas around the school. They are, and so be aware of that and understand the attractiveness of those sites. There's also some larger areas that kind of to begin to activate the different sites. I had a couple here that were interesting. So page 26 is focus area 3 down by St. south that are sort of wooded. You want to have a buffer there, but there's great opportunity because of the college and the be a great spot for potential for some good density. Or when you get to that size of a parcel, do a mixed residential on that side. And I'll just, as another example, on page 30, folks are in the city, some Brookside Park to the east, and these are parcels that close together because individually to a park or things like that to be able to put townhomes or something of that, really be able to play off that open space in the park, draw that open space over into the residential neighborhood and address it that way. And then you see the shift as you head south and as you head to the west, you're shifting down towards single-family residential. So those are some of the key highlights of the plan. Any questions? Yes.
Question two. It seems to me like two of those things you mentioned, the size of the older lots and the size of the these days, families aren't accepting of houses that small like we lived in when we were kids, or on lots that small. So that kind
of down, or in your more in your core, really from a size standpoint, you are seeing actually, well, we've been going to home size for the longest time. We're actually starting to come off the home. Two things. Number one is pricing. Number two is demographics. And don't need. So we're seeing a trend involved in
anything that a city could do, or in your opinion would desire to do, when you have a significant portion of the lots homes that are 700 feet. You know, as they age enough, you know, half as many lots or something.
Yeah. The when they're conditions talk that, I mean, we talk about doing that. You have enough of those homes that it's bringing value of the existing houses.
Yeah.
And so
you don't want to.
You're actually surprised how many lots you have in the potentially develop or get homes on there. And that's easy because your sanitary, they're easy. They help. The more density you can get on page 24, we have stats of what's happening. Spots down on the left is there at the 7th Street extension down by the elementary school. And that's one that right now you'll see in the image, those lots, I would actually make them smaller. I think you get 2 more lots, homes on those that would still actually be in character with. The reality is whether a building has 1 unit, massing of a single-family home, they play well together, and you're seeing that more and more. The developers I've been, we're doing that type of mixing now, and having it. Frankly, it just helps.
You lots number of
Yeah.
houses that are available.
Yeah. Density in there, because people are looking for communities. So even in, for example, I'm in the land planning of a 500-acre master plan community in Hancock County, up on the, and we've got several different home collections that are going in there. But the common is making sure that you've got good, you've got things of that nature that make it attractive. Homes and but right now in the market over time has shifted from 80, 90 foot wide single family homes. Right now, your average family home is going to be a 60 foot lot size. What would you choose? That's
To wrap it up, with me and Noel, HWC did a fantastic job of housing developed. The T right on what we were talking about. Fill in some of the lots that we have that are listed as a 1 through job by and Brian. Thank you.
Been a while since we've done, so thank you. This is
Thanks, guys.
thank
That's part of what this study identified. Mm-hmm. What we recommend is that the plan of the five criteria, very first criteria is what does the comprehensive plan say? And so now you would have that where, hey, what's being proposed is in line.
recommendation to the council. That's exactly what the board wouldn't necessarily approve the plan. We would approve recommending to council or adopt.
I'll make that council to adopt this plan, addendum to the comprehensive plan.
Yeah.
Second.
Plan to the council for and integration into the comprehensive plan. All those in favor signify by saying aye. On the agenda, on-call service contract proposal.
We provide there is put RDCs, a variety of different groups, and what it does is to ordinances and changing. So all of our services are available. It's an hourly contract. So that if you've got a developer that comes in and they kind of dump the capabilities of your staff, then you could sub it out to this staff, and then we would have that fee that if you needed to pass it back to the person that applied for something. So anyway, we track it all so that they get reimbursed. So we wanted to provide this as something we had talked to the executive. That would be something to put in front of you all for your consideration. Yeah, I don't know.
Not that I'm aware of. And I think if this we get this department, we just need to know that. So
that's right.
I just wanted to give the board an overview. Thanks, Ben. Next.
The doing a semi-custom ordinance, and that is something that I and as we have been throughout your community, we're looking at the different land. It's on highways. You've got portions that are downtown, and I guess let me back up. And to do a custom ordinance usually takes a year. A lot of the communities that are in Indiana. So, from where we come in, and that the one document. So, we're dealing tonight. Well, that's a different order. And time and save money because the community back how does on that we actually draft the first ordinance because we have a lot of the legwork is done. There's areas of the ordinance you want to focus on, and the uses and the dimensional standards that are there. There's other parts too. Read them if you really want to, but like, for example, floodplain. Language, not a lot to do that. Get it. Also do just to the UDO, how it operates, where to focus your attention on. Uses. And then a week later, we and the zone. With that back, we're able to take that, do a new draft, review that with the because we're able to focus on the key thing. Meeting sometimes is the council. So right now, average from our kickoff, an ordinance being because we're able to focus on this the and be able to do that timeline. How that works.
You might just mention the other alternative is, in order to what they just adopted tonight, or the resolution they passed forward, is to go back in and change ordinance by ordinance.
Yeah,
But,
and just
so it's either
more
piecemeal
and
or it's
change the different pieces.
Yep.
I think we'd all love to have something like this.
Yeah. Our zoning ordinance, for example, is passed in 2008, so that's the other thing. It's 17 years old. We need future. But again, once we get our back, then we'll have some more discussion. Business item on the agenda is the Prairie Street Committee, and I heard that no one here is necessarily to give an update on it. I don't believe there's an agreement now between the two landowners on Prairie Street. So there's been progress made, and I imagine we'll have something at our next meeting as a presentation for that to let us know what they decided to do. Yeah. Next item is on the next meeting of the plan 2025. Entertain a motion for adjournment.
I don't know if you were.
It just depends how
I think so.